This is my super duper messy Skin Illustrator palette. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how I clean my palette and refill it. Specifically, the black that you can see is not only gone, but somehow it got everywhere. Skin Illustrator palettes are filled with alcohol paints that can be used with activator or 99% alcohol. Alcohol paints like these are awesome because they're completely water resistant, but that means I can't clean my palette with soap and water or makeup wipes the way I would clean any of my other palettes. I know this can be a messy process, so I start by laying out a plastic-backed nail towelette by Hands Down Ultra. You can also use a bunch of paper towels, but this type of hand towel is my favorite because the plastic layer on the back prevents leakage onto my table. I start off by pouring 99% alcohol into the lid of my palette, let it soak in for a few seconds, and wipe it out with paper towels. I continue to clean the palette by wiping off the top layer of all the other colors in my palette by spraying and wiping. If I soften the paint too much, I'll end up wasting product as it gets wiped out of the palette, so I try to keep my wiping gentle and on the top layer only. Now that the inside and outside of my palette have been wiped down sufficiently, I'm going to pour more black into the palette. You can buy alcohol paints in liquid form, which is often used for airbrush makeup application, but in this case, I'm going to be pouring it directly into my palette. This product separates, so it's very important that you shake it well before pouring. This particular bottle came with a spray attachment and a twist top. I switched the lid out for the twist top so I can have more control when pouring. I start with a thin layer and dry it with a blow dryer. Then I pour another layer in and continue to blow dry. Throughout this process, I experimented with my blow dryer, different amounts of air pressure and temperature, as well as distance from the wet paint. All I can say is be smart or it will get splattery. You can see when each layer of paint dries, it evaporates quite a lot. So if you want to fill the palette all the way to the top, it will take several layers of paint. After about 3 layers, I let it dry overnight, and then the next morning I continued to fill it because I figured I might as well keep going. I don't want to deal with this again for a while. And that's how it's done. Pouring it in, letting it dry, pouring in some more, and letting it dry. Remember, you can't clean this palette with water, only 99% alcohol. It takes several layers to refill the colors, and be careful with your blow dryer. Please consider subscribing to my channel to learn more about theatrical makeup and hair. I'd love to hear from you, so please comment below if you have any suggestions or requests for future videos. Thanks so much.